Today we're going to be getting the front left brakes unstuck. As you can see, the car won't move at all. If you remember from the first episode, we had to drag it along the trailer. And did I mention it comes with Bluetooth exhaust? Hung on by hopes and dreams. Let's get to it. Alright, so I'm going to start by taking off the wheel. And we're going to remove the grease cover. Hammer's my favorite tool for it. I was struggling a bit with the cotter pin. But eventually I was able to get it out. Thankfully. On old cars, things like to be stuck, if you don't know. I'm putting on some WD-40 between the drum and the back plate, hoping it will break free whatever's stuck. And I thought to use my trusty Volvo drum puller that works on rear drums. But I didn't realize until I actually put it on the drum that it's not going to fit because of that front wheel bearing sitting inside the drum. I was dumbfounded. My man brain didn't know what to do. I just stared and disassociated. You could see the drum and the backing plate, the gap between it there. So I used this 3-point puller. This has caused me a lot of trouble in the past. You should never use these on Volvo drums, especially the rear ones. They will distort the axle. But I've never had trouble taking off the front drum until now. But the puller didn't fit, just the geometry of the arms. You shouldn't use these anyways on Volvo drums. You'll break something. So I'm using the hammer here to try to break free whatever's stuck. Use some persuasive force. I believed it was the brake pads that were sticking. Just because it was sitting so long, I was pretty confident that it was the brake pads sticking to the inner surface of the drum. Here's my monkey brain putting in the work. Trying to think of ways to break it free. Because if the drums aren't contacting the pads and there's not a lip catching on the pads, once that nut is off, these should just slide off. So there isn't anything really holding them on besides the pads at this point. It's not like the rear drums that are pressed fit and stretched over the axle. At this point, I realized that I could, if I applied leverage on the right point, I noticed that the drum would start to move. So I just kept at it, working my way around the drum. And if you watch the center point, the axle, or where the inner bearing race rides compared to where the outer race rides, you could see it wobbling around. So I was getting some movement. Making a lot of progress at this point, and I was pretty confident that would come off, so I continued. It also helped a lot to apply some leverage onto the top knuckle of the steering. That helped enormously. Then I would have to offset it underneath the drum. But eventually it broke free. I would definitely try this method again for stuck front drums, but I would never try this on the rear drums. As I said before, for the rear drums you always need the polar, or else you will destroy the axle. Or the drum, something will break. But just as I suspected, the brake drum got rusted, and that rust caused the brake pads to bind up. And the brake pads and all the hardware looked decent. The brake pads had a lot of material on them. So this is probably why it was quick to seize up when the drum started rusting. And my solution to get the brakes running, or to get the wheel turning I should say, was to remove the brake shoes completely. Because in a later video I'm going to do a complete brake overhaul anyways, so having brakes right now isn't the priority. But it will be. It will be as soon as we start getting moving. Gonna get new brakes all around, so it's all gotta come out anyways.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about these front brakes on the PV is there's no adjuster wheel on the bottom to back on or back off.
No brake pads.
If you guys know how these are set, if you know how the brake adjustment is set, please let me know in the comments. And I'll repack the bearing at another time, probably when we redo the front brakes in the near future. But it's not going to be rolling very much.
Could name your car Mossy. That's kind of cool. I like Mossy.
My brother came up with the name just now. He kind of stuck with the car ever since. What do you guys think? Mossy. Getting off all the crud on the mounting surface of the wheel. Just because I'm there. Spins good. Putting on the junkiest wheel I've ever used. Tires balder than Mr. Clean. If you look on the left part of the rim, you could see where that tractor was pushing on it on the trailer. They'll get scrapped soon when I find a new set of rims. And I had time to put in the headlights. I had some extra headlights laying around. Cleaning up the contacts with some WD-40. I could definitely get in there better. It's alive! That's why they're a pain to move.
Well, when I bought my second toolbox, I was filled to the brim with tools, and I combined two toolboxes into one.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely maxed out the blue one, and it held.
Yeah. No, it was a good guy, but yeah, you, out of all people, you would use a bigger one. But yeah.
Or if I had like my own shop, and then I had. Then I could divvy them.
Move it your whole life and never.
No, it's all nice shit that I need and use. Like
Well, that's what I'm saying. I could, before I go, you could put them in your car, and then you get those to those fronts, or the back seat if you want to get that perfect or something, or the paint. I don't know. I'm just saying I could do that for you. Do a little IOU thing.
See, that car looks much better with headlights. I don't know why they took them off.
It's gonna get new brakes. I might, while I'm at it, I seriously might just order those floor pans and just be like, all right, I have money now. I'll pay someone to weld it and just get it over with. Because it's floor pans, it's not rocker panels, so it's kind of like less labor intensive.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of what sold me on that car. This car is like, oh yeah.
The rust or lack of rust until you discovered.
There's gonna be more that pops up, I'm sure. That's always how it is, but I could just tell already it was way less.